everyone, Stormy Sensei here. So we're about 2 weeks out from me reaching 1,000 subscribers. I've been posting or putting thank you for 1,000 subs in the title for a while now, but it doesn't help to say once again, thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. I was asking the members of my Discord server what we should do in response to reaching 1,000 subs. They had a couple of ideas. I bounced a couple of ideas back and forth with them. Some of them were very difficult. This one was very easy, so I'm just going to do this one so that it's really close to my actual reaching 1,000 subs. This is an idea that I've had for a while, where I kind of just go through my YouTube studio and show you guys kind of the analytics and like some videos and things like that that I have worked with in the past, and kind of show you guys kind of the journey that it took to get here. So first off, I'll say hello to everyone that's here in chat. We've got Pink Kong 64, Octerian, John Pika the musician, and Darnell's channel. Welcome everyone. I don't know how big or popular this particular stream is going to be. I'd imagine it's going to be pretty small because I'm not playing any games, I'm not playing with viewers or anything like that. But we will enjoy ourselves all the same. Let me actually send out a notification onto Discord about this. I just went live. I'm doing a 1K sub special where I talk about YouTube, or my YouTube history. I feel like that's more of a thing that I should ping everyone for, but that's okay. So there's the YouTube notification there, or the Discord notification there. Let's see. So I actually wrote some notes down for us to talk about here. Let me pull those up. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, I guess, is the first few videos, which happened prior to me even having a capture card. And I guess we should also get some music going. Let's get some music going. You should be able to hear that. Actually, you won't be able to hear that yet. Let me actually let you be able to hear that. There we go. Now you should actually be able to hear that. Is that too loud or something like that? Let me take a look at the volume levels. You can't actually hear it yet. Okay. There you go. Now you can actually hear it. Darnell's channel, we will not be playing Elite Smash today. We actually, during the summer, we actually don't play Smash on the weekends at all. We're gonna start doing that again after Labor Day. Hey there, I Like Pie. You actually haven't missed anything. I just kind of rambled on a bit at the beginning, like I always do. Thanks for 1,000 subs. Let me make sure my microphone is on, things like that. So the first thing I have on my list, this is YouTube Studio. So if you have a YouTube channel, this is kind of what you can expect to see as far as your uploads and things like that. When I want to make a new post or when I want to go live, I press this button. When I want to upload a video, I do this as well. Just today, I was able to create a post. So for the first time, I made a community post not too long ago advertising this particular stream. It gives you some like unimportant stuff that's about like how to basically trick people into subscribing to you on this side. You've got some pretty important information though as well, like the number of subs you have, your top recent videos, how much people have been watching recently, your latest upload information, latest comments, things like that, who's recently subscribed to you, sorted by the number of subscribers that they have. And this is my latest community post here. So this is the dashboard. It's okay. I think it's fine. I think that the old YouTube dashboard was a little better because it had like a lot more graphs on it to start with. But I can get to the graphs pretty easily by just clicking on the analytics. So for those of you that are in my Discord server, you know that I actually post these statistics every month to show basically how the channel has grown. You also may have noticed on my channel that I've been experimenting with premieres versus just uploading based on the schedule. It does seem that premiering videos makes it get more views compared to just uploads. You know, and then again, both of those pale in comparison to live streams, which makes sense because I'm a live streamer at heart. It's kind of where the channel has always been. In top videos and then recently. So we're probably going to spend a lot of time going into advanced mode eventually, but for now I think that we'll just keep on doing a tour of YouTube Studio. I did already check through all of these tabs to make sure that nothing was too revealing. So we should be pretty good clicking on anything in particular. I just can't go into the settings and community settings because it'll show all of the banned words and all the banned people and their names. So that's probably not good. So the content tab shows you where all your posts are, everything that you uploaded, all of your live streams, all your community posts, things like that. And here's the last one. I think that the stream might be dying a little bit because I'm streaming and like going through YouTube at the same time. I think it might help if I close out of Discord. Let me do that on my computer. I can pull it up on my phone. And then you can also go through your playlists as well. I make a lot of public playlists. I actually update these daily. Like I subscribe to a whole bunch of tournament channels, and I just kind of go through and add all the sets that I can find. I don't watch a lot of them, but it's kind of a habit at this point to just kind of collect them all. I kind of want to start doing something on the weekends, like when it's not summertime, where we just kind of do VOD review over some of these sets. I can stream it over Discord because it's actually kind of difficult to stream YouTube over YouTube. If I actually tried to click on any of these videos, it would look really terrible. So we're not going to bother with any of that. And comments is a pretty nice, I kind of like the comments thing. Remember when I fought the Chorus Kid spirits? Yep, it's a funny one. But that is not even close to the first game over on the stream. I was much sooner than that. I occasionally just have to like look through the held for review and just like report them for being spamming. But that happens pretty often, like about once per video, really. I try to mostly reply to each one that makes sense to reply to. You know, some of them are just kind of like, hi, and then there's no response to that. But generally, I try to comment on most of the comments here. We'll talk about monetization at some point in time later on. You should know that I am eligible for it. I just need to click basically a button in order to become monetized, basically. I don't really think I'll have any trouble becoming monetized, but I'm not gonna really do it. One of my favorite sections, the customization. You get to kind of change the layout for your own YouTube channel. If YouTube ever decides to load for me. There we are. My old 200 sub special. Very old. Still love it though. Past live streams, unfinished series, I have so many of them. Role-playing games, Switch exclusives, modern and classic games. These are based off of the actual gameplay mechanics, not really based off of how old the game is. So like if I were to play Shovel Knight, even though it's a new game, it would be marked as a classic game playthrough, for example. But this is kind of like where I kind of want to take the channel mostly. Oh, I've actually already been taking the channel in this direction with the long plays. It's just that for the summer, I decided to, you know, let you guys enjoy some Smash. After 12 sections is actually a lot. I could do a lot. I actually originally tried to do one for each game console, but I played too many games across too many consoles, and, you know, I ran out of sections, basically. So with that said, let's kind of get into some of the topics that I wanted to go over. So the first one, let me pull up my notes. Hey there, Bit Bros. So I wrote down some notes in Discord so that I could, what's it called? Keep track of things and stay on course, because I'm not likely to do that sort of thing. So we want to talk about the pre-capture card era. So that is, let me see what years those were. So between November of 2015 up until January 2017. Okay, let's talk about that, I guess. Can I do this by date? I cannot do this by date. That's very sad, but I can sort the other direction. That'll make it easier. So very early on, I guess I can start with even why I made the channel to begin with. That's actually a good starting point. Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, so I started this channel because as part of the Smash 4 release, they came out with an update that would allow for you to upload gameplay from your replays to YouTube if you linked a YouTube account to your Nintendo Switch account, or not your Switch account, to your Nintendo account. And so I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. I could do that. I play Smash and I watch YouTube, so let's go ahead and do that. But I didn't want to use my actual account, so I made this account, Stormy Sensei. It's actually the only account that I use these days. I don't even use my IRL account anymore. So the idea for this was, it's 2015 right now, and I've been playing Smash 4. This is the tag that I enter tournaments in with. So I figured this should also be what I use for my YouTube content. The name originates from the massive multiplayer online game City of Heroes, which is a superhero-based action RPG. The character that I played in that game had the ability to summon ninjas, and also had the ability to create storms, like hurricanes and thunderstorms and things like that. So Stormy Sensei was their name. And so I made this channel, and for a very long time all of the content is just uploads from Smash 4. So you can see my very first video was I was playing random on For Glory, and I got Shulk. This is my first time playing as Shulk, but I kind of figured out the character as I was going on, so I was like, all right, let's do that. You can tell that based on the titles that this is very like early YouTube. Like, why are there questions in the titles for these videos? And occasionally I actually did like instead of the For Glory randoms or like the custom janks, where I kind of like talked about how silly custom moves were or like items were and things like that. I occasionally would upload like, hey, this is me playing as my mains, and like actually trying to win and things like that. Yeah, I was much more of a tryhard back then. Like, I was going to tournaments every week. I was actually in training mode and practicing and studying VOD review and going into character discords in order to like fight people and things like that. So it was a different time. I'm basically semi-retired at this point, even though I'm technically better at Smash now than I've ever been, just from like experience and like having gone through that stage of my life. But I definitely don't take the game nearly as seriously as I used to. Some videos, if they're too long or if there's too much going on with them around the 3-minute mark, you actually could no longer upload them to YouTube using that feature. So for some of these, I think, for example, this one here is actually uploaded using my phone. A couple of them are. You can tell based on the quality usually. And for those, I basically went into a quiet quote-unquote room, and I would prop up my Wii U gamepad against the wall, and then like use a tripod on my phone to just like point it at the screen. And I tried my best to get the reflection out of there, but yeah, it didn't really work out too well all the time. And so this is my first video series. I uploaded, did a bunch of matches with me and my amiibo. I think this is the first amiibo that I had. Is this versus Lucina? No, this is this is versus Lucina. This is not my first amiibo. This is just an amiibo that I had, and I like went all the way from level 1 to 50 in an upload series. It was difficult. It's much easier if you have a capture card, that's for sure. But you know, I had fun with it. Hey there, Dragon Dance. Welcome to another stream. We're going to go down, we're taking a trip down memory lane right now. I'm just kind of going over like a whole bunch of videos that I uploaded in the past and talking about YouTube as a whole, and celebrate the 1,000 subscribers. But for those of you that don't know, Dragon Dance is another streamer, European, so they're like basically way off on schedule. It's pretty late for you actually, isn't it? But yeah, I watched Dragon Dance play Super Smash Brothers while I'm at work because it's you know, he's on and it's good content. So if you guys want some daytime watching, you can subscribe to them. They do other stuff. I mostly just watch the Smash stuff, but they do plenty of other things though. Yeah, so a lot of these videos at first are just like me playing, going for glory, and like fighting someone, and when they're really good, I just kind of, you know, upload the videos. Eventually, Smash 4 had like a highlights feature where they just kind of randomly took segments of your replay and uploaded them. I think that it was a really terrible feature. It's actually really, really awful what they chose for highlights. It's just like random neutral interactions and a couple of kills. And it's not very interesting at all, I would say. But, you know, it's better than nothing, so I uploaded them. Hey there, Master David, how's it going? Just so everyone knows, I accidentally set the latency to normal So it should be about 20 seconds before I say something and you hearing it. So, you know, if it's weird, if it feels like it's weird talking to me, that's probably the reason why. So there's really nothing more here going on. I think that at some point in time in here is some content with, or not some content, but like there should be something where like I have a comment on here. Let's see what the first comment was, or the earliest comment was on these videos. Because I'm looking for one in particular, actually. Alright, so we got 3 comments here from How Do You Meta Knight? What is this? I think this is my first YouTube comment. Oh no, it's actually very recent from Lubba, a longtime viewer. That's funny. So it wasn't that one. We have some really, really old things in here. Oh, so Swivelfish. This comment is from Swivelfish themselves. Like, I played them and I uploaded a video, and then they randomly were like searching their own name on YouTube, and they found me. So they just kind of like left a couple of comments here as well. How's the stream been? Stream is good so far. We're just getting started. Most of the time it's just me rambling, but that's like every stream. But I think that we got some pretty good content in here. I think that basically what I want to say at this point is that you see that I have like 2 years worth of content before I even get a capture card. So I think that if you are thinking like, oh, I want to stream one day, but I don't have a capture card and they're really expensive and I don't have the money to buy it right now, so I just won't stream. You should just, you know, do what you can. Like, upload and however, oh, that's actually a perfect example. That video right there was actually definitely uploaded with my phone. There we go. So here's the first comment by another content creator. This is BadKitty239. I was surprised that they were like, oh wow, you like got the good content, you know, whatnot. And I was like, oh, Sewell, this is actually a really awesome person. I was so excited. But he was like, oh, you are way too much. You're too intense for me right now. Which I thought was very hilarious. Which makes sense. I was very intense because it was like, oh wow, someone actually talked to me? That's so weird. Most people that comment on my videos are just the people that I played against. Why did it do all comments? I didn't want all comments. Back to the content. So this is pretty late in the year at this point. We're pretty close to when we actually do our first live stream. You can see the phone footage here by how terrible the thumbnail is. And then I think that right around, this is like the last time that I did a capture card, or this is right before I did my capture card. So this is my first tournament set that I uploaded, me versus SDN. They're like I think they're a European Kirby player from the Smash 4 days, and they were one of the better players in the Kirby Chord. I lost really terribly. I got completely rocked. But I did learn a lot from the gameplay. Basically, don't use down air because it's terrible. Just land using your jumps and mixing up your jumps in order to land appropriately rather than being aggressive as landing. And yeah, it's all good stuff. So that's all the pre capture card footage. We have a lot of videos, loads and loads and loads before I even had a capture card. So I guess I should have prepped this ahead of time, but I didn't. So I need to look up an Elgato capture card, I guess. Alright, so these are advertisements for the S, which I don't have. I just have the Elgato 60. Yeah, this is the one right here. In fact, there's actually probably a lot of stuff that I should have prepped ahead of time, but didn't. I don't want to watch a video. Alright, so this is what I have. Oh wait, no, this is not what I have. Oh, they don't even show the Elgato 60 anymore on their... Wow, that's how old it is. Okay, well, it looks very similar to this anyway. So I have an Elgato HD60, which is a capture card that takes HDMI inputs, and it takes a USB power source, and you can, it actually doesn't even use 3.0, it uses a micro, no, a mini USB port. So the difference between the two is that this one actually captures in real time, so if I wanted to, I could actually play my Switch on my computer while I'm streaming, if my computer is strong enough to actually capture it. But the one that I have has like a 3-second delay, so I can't actually play video games on my computer while I play. I have to hook it up to my television, and I play on my television, and then it separately puts the signal to my computer for you guys to watch on stream. So, when I bought it, it was about $70. The 60, I have no idea how much the 60S cost, or how much this S Plus. This didn't even exist before. I have no idea what this even does. You can convert 4K into this, I guess, is what the reason why you would use this, I suppose. I don't know. But generally, just get whatever the, oh. Wait, that was what I wanted, right? End of life announcement. Oh no. It's like super dead at this point. Oh boy. Man, that's rough. When was this announcement done? We're no longer manufacturing these, so you won't ever be able to get the same capture card that I have. But it's actually the worst thing, it's the worst possible capture card that Elgato even makes, so you don't need to worry about that. For several years after this, I used the Elgato software as well. So Elgato has a software that you can use in order to actually stream as well. It's called like Elgato Capture HD or something like that. And you can actually go back into the, because I always put the encoder that I'm using in the description for every video. So you can actually tell when I switched from Elgato to Streamlabs OBS. I like Streamlabs OBS a lot more because, for one thing, if you disconnect, it tries to reconnect for you. as opposed to Elgato, where if you disconnect, the stream is just dead and you have to make a new one. It's too difficult to navigate this site right now in order to do that. I guess the downloads is what we would be looking at. So this is what I started off with. Elgato game capture for Windows. Actually, technically, at first I used it for Mac because that's the computer that I had. It was much worse on Mac. They always did software updates for the Windows first, and I lacked a lot of features that I could have otherwise had, like overlays and face cams and things like that at first. Eventually they came over to Mac, but you know, it was a while. Actually, by the time they had all those features, I had already swapped over to a Windows machine by then. So yeah, that is what I started off with. An HD 60 and Elgato game capture. Wrong one. Ignore that inception real quick. So then, I guess, what did I say on my notes next that I want to talk about here? I guess I also want to see what the, yeah, so the early capture card days, that's what I just got to talking about. Let's go over the analytics for a little bit here, because I think that another thing to note for people is about audience and and basically like how to just not worry about it, because for several years I was just kind of streaming to myself and uploading for myself, and I think that a lot of people kind of don't get that. So what I want to do is I want to look at views total, and I actually don't want to buy videos. I guess it's by date. There we go, by date. And I want the time range to be a lot way back in the past. Alright, so this is going to be like November of 2015. And wait, what? Okay, what just happened there? There we go. Until January of 2017. Alright, so this graph looks pretty good, but if you look at the top, it's 12. Like, that's the max number of views that I had at the time. So all of this is just like mostly me watching my own stuff, or like occasionally someone coming by and watching something. I guess I'll do by video just to show how how low the viewership was back in the early days. Yeah, so most of these videos have never seen even an hour's worth of watch time back then. Hey there, your troopers. This is the YouTube stream where I just talk about the history of the channel. Right now we're talking about before I got a capture card on the channel. We're about to start now talking about you know, me getting a capture card and starting to do like live streams and things like that. I just need to talk my notes here. Alright, so next we gotta talk about early capture card days. That's gonna be like January 2017 up until March of 2017. This is where I am only doing Smash streams at this point. So this is 3/30/17, and this is 1/1/17, and these are specific dates for a reason. Well, it's actually not that specific. Yeah, the old videos don't have commentary. So the first live stream that I ever did is this one here. I was testing the stream quality by just like, you know, playing with viewers. I didn't have a microphone at the time, and I didn't even have sound, I think, for the first like good bit. Or a couple, actually, which one of these was the first one? I did a couple of tests to start off with. I went too far. Let me look at this a bit closer. I need to go to 3/2. Oops, I don't want to compare to anything. That is something that you're able to do. Unfortunately, the YouTube doesn't have the ability for you to filter by the game that you're playing. Because if you did, then I'd be able to compare things like, oh, how do people like Pokemon compared to Smash? How do people like Final Fantasy compared to Octopath Traveler? Unfortunately, I can't really do that because YouTube isn't for gamers. Yeah, so here's some of this early capture card stuff. Testing the stream quality. This is the first one that I did for sure. And then what is this big spike here? Oh, that's that one, okay. This was actually the me fighting against the me brawler, or the me gunner Discord, because I was a tryhard. First non-Smash gameplay. I still get views on this to this day. I think because it has achievements, like Dragon Age achievements in the title. Even though it's like, I say in the description that I'm trying to, like, the stream is me trying to get the achievements as opposed to telling you how to get the achievements. But people still click on it, look at the description, and then click off of it. It's one of my top viewed videos, actually, because I think people just get clickbaited into trying to look at it as a guide. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, that's probably really that's worth watching. This is a one of the very early Smash tournament sets that I streamed. Apparently, I got a capture card and immediately brought it to a tournament, February of 2017, and then uploaded the two best players in my state playing on in Smash 4, Diddy Kong versus Fox. I tell you guys all the time about the best player in my state being Diddy Kong and how I kept on losing to him. This is that same person. Rename it? Nah. Like, it's very clear what the video is doing, and I am even more clear in the description that this is me hunting the achievements in the game. They'll live. It's not my problem that they click onto it and are disappointed. But anyway, yeah, even still back then, like early live stream videos, this one had like 60 views. That's pretty impressive, testing the stream quality. That is this one here. Yeah, it's a good one. I liked the early content. But then, my very first non-Smash long play, or I guess my very first long play, Breath of the Wild. We're gonna have to leave the analytics for this one here. Now, I love Breath of the Wild. So this is around the time that the Switch is being announced. We're in like March of 2017, I believe. Oh, I'm still in live channel. Still in uploads. I need to go to live content real quick. I was actually joking about how early content on the channel was actually kind of clickbait. Like there were all sorts of questions and question marks and exclamation marks and things like that in the content. Alright, first live stream. Elgato capture card test. January 14th, 2017. It took me another 3 days to do my second stream and another 4 days to do my next stream. You guys are spoiled these days. I'm streaming like left and right. 4 days later, another stream. 3 days later, another stream. But if you scroll down a bit longer, you start to see the beginning of Smash After Work. This is the first time. That seems like a good trivia question, actually. The first Smash After Work stream, February 13th, 2017. I brought my computer to work and set it up. We had already been playing for a while by then, but this was the first time that I streamed it. It's pretty fun. And for those of you that are wondering why I don't do microphones, I always ask, like whenever there's like enough new people in the group, like whether we are going to have the microphone on, and they always say no. For those of you that are wondering what the oldest unfinished long play on the channel is this one here, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I played it a couple of times and stopped and like didn't finish it. Don't really know why. Oh, well, it's probably because the Switch came out, honestly. So I actually waited outdoors in March in winter in Wisconsin. It was actually below freezing that day. I had like a million layers on and a blanket, and like I brought a chair and everything. Would not recommend, was not worth it. It broke after 3 years. I should have just waited to have like a better hardware version of the Switch. But yeah, on the bright side, even though I had all those complaints about waiting in line for those things, we still have this to show for it. March 3rd, 2017, Breath of the Wild gameplay. It's a very good long play. I appreciate this long play a lot. You can see that the gameplay happens more frequently. Like, what is this? 2 long streams in one day? And this is like the start of like my 5-hour streams and things like that. Well, this was a long one as well, viewer battle. I forgot about that one. That's a good thumbnail. Oh, I didn't even know that I did a second Dragon Age stream. I didn't even remember that. Man, I don't have a description in this? That's so sad. Well, anyway. How lazy of me. But yeah, Breath of the Wild was an amazing long play. It was an amazing first game experience. It's unfortunate that you guys did not hear commentary for most of it. I actually did get a microphone during the Breath of the Wild long play. I'll find it soon enough. I ever know where it happens about. Breath of the Wild was also my first YouTube raid. I had never seen one before, but like I was just like wandering through the plains, and then suddenly a bunch of people showed up and were like, "Oh, hey, we're raiding you." Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't keep track of chat replay that far back, so I actually have no idea who it was because it's been so long, and it was like just another thing that happened. But it's a little unfortunate, but it's around here somewhere. Where is that first? I guess it was a while before. Oh yeah, so it's around here actually. So in order to test out the microphone, I actually tried streaming to Gaia 5. These are private. You won't be able to find these anywhere. Technically they're unlisted, so you would be able to find them if you had the link to it. But then here we have our first one. Oh, I could have sworn that I had the thumbnail specifically for that, but I guess this one is probably the first one with the microphone, or maybe because the microphone wasn't really working out too well for me. These were both failed attempts, like all of these were failed attempts at using the microphone with the streaming. I do remember about where I was in the game. It was, the first one was when I like booked it all the way to the lava, or to Death Mountain, basically. That was the first one for sure. But we're skipping over a lot of stuff trying to find that first microphone stream from Breath of the Wild. We can talk a little bit more about some of this other stuff that happened in between, I guess. So as I mentioned, the first raid I had was during Breath of the Wild, and the first non-smash with commentary was also during Breath of the Wild. But also during this time, Splatoon 2 comes out, or at least the demo comes out. So I play the demo, or I play Splatoon right before the demo comes out, and then I also play the demo, as well as my first few games of Ranked. This is some old stuff here. So I used to take thumbnails from my viewers, with, the artwork and thumbnails channel in my Discord, because people asked for it. There are a couple of interesting ones. I think I scrolled over it one really quick, like where people would like just make drawings and I would put those as the thumbnails. YouTube is having some trouble keeping up. This is the first live stream. We went back 2 pages accidentally, but that's okay. But the old originals regulars, I think you'll see some of those eventually when I do viewer battles. Some of the earlier thumbnails are all of their pictures, or like a drawing of all their characters together. Also of note, the first viewer was Jackatronics. I don't remember where exactly they started joining the streams. Oh look, now with Nightbot. So apparently I added a bot to my streams around June of 2017 in order to like do apparently I put it in the description, so I could probably actually look and see exactly when the first time I added Nightbot to the channel was, and then add that as a trivia question. So back in the day, it was just like I didn't have a microphone and I didn't really have viewers, so the one person Jackatronics would just kind of show up and then just like ask me trivia revolving around like video game characters. Because I would just be playing and I would just type the answer back in response to them. And he would also keep the other viewers entertained during the Smash After Work streams. And they were also my first moderator eventually. I forget what name they had at the time when they became by the time they became a moderator. But yeah, they were the number one and the first viewer. And you know, back then I didn't really keep track of watch time because I didn't have Streamlabs, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, I don't have proof of this. Ping Kong definitely is the first one to officially reach 500 watch hours, but I suspect that Jackatronics was the first person. These thumbnails were made by him as well. This is Random Ordinary Girl, this is Jay, and this is myself. And then this one is Beat Boop. And Brandon should be in here eventually as well. Like as we added more, oh look, that's what his old YouTube name was, Jason Plays 100. That's good on me for having this sort of stuff there. Back then, I played multiple games at once, so even though I'm in the middle of my Legend of Zelda long play, I start a Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap long play as well. Would not recommend. Let's see, I finished Wonder Boy the day after I started the Octopath Traveler demo, even though the game came out like, you know, a year later. So I was generally playing like 2 or 3 games at once. Oh, that's so many games at once. Hold up. So it looks like I started Breath of the Wild in March of 2017, ended in December of 2017, started Wonder Boy in August of 2017, ended in September of 2017, started Sonic Mania, okay, after Wonder Boy. So Sonic Mania was after Wonder Boy. But I started Sonic Mania and Mario Rabbids, but I still hadn't yet finished Breath of the Wild yet. And I even started Sonic Forces before I finished Sonic Mania. I mean, before I finished Breath of the Wild. So that's 4 games going at once. It is, what's it called? It was not good because, like, if you play too many games at once, especially when you don't really stream every day, like if I had 3 or 4 hours every day to stream, like someone like Lightning Farron or like Hesitated Crowbar Gaming or what's the name of that other channel I want to shout out? I can't remember at the moment. The mind escapes, or the name escapes me. But if I had, like, you know, if this was what I did, if all I did was YouTube, I don't know that that's all that they do. Actually, I know that Cobra has a job, so I shouldn't say that's all that they do. But basically, if YouTube was my main thing, and I had lots of hours every day to stream all the time, then, you know, I could do multiple at the same time. But the way it is with like a couple of streams a week, you end up dragging on a series. Like, I don't think that it's reasonable to have a long play last 9 months, especially as a streamer. Like if it were like uploads and I was like uploading 30 minutes worth of gameplay. So I don't really suggest playing multiple games at once as in a long play fashion. I really suggest you do like one game, you play it all the way through, ideally daily. If you're trying to like make it quote unquote in YouTube, you should probably be doing daily uploads. But it's never really been about that for me. So can I minimize this? Like I don't really need to see. There we go. Perfect. Now I can actually click on this button. How is this still going on? How long is this video? Oh, I guess it repeated itself? I could have sworn that I heard them saying that I heard this already. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? This is the Mercenary Mission Complete song, and earlier I remember hearing the I'm going to summon for a core crystal music, and I just confused the two. Another regular of mine, Random Ordinary Girl, tried to do more microphone testing. So I think this was when I finally first started doing microphone streams, because I actually got my microphone working. Oh look, my first public stream with a microphone. It should be a short one, 2 hours long. Oh, okay, this is where you can see Brandon is now an established regular at this point. And then these are when I start taking like images from other people. Oh, well, I guess this is where I started taking images from other people and uploading them. These were the characters that I originally played in Smash 4, Zelda, Kirby, and Villager, even using those alts in particular. And these are the mains of my viewers. So then, we don't do microphones during Smash After Work. I don't remember if I did a microphone on for Octopath Traveler. There were a couple of times where I thought I had the microphone on, and I just didn't actually have the microphone on. Who is this? Why is there Olimar on here? Do I remember an Olimar player? I'll have to dig through some old Discord messages and see who this is supposed to represent. This is the first Breath of the Wild gameplay footage with the microphone. And then right afterwards I start doing some Sonic Mania. Mario plus Rabbids, as I already mentioned, another one here. Still testing out stuff. I tried switching from Elgato to OBS, but it did not work out. It took a couple more years before I could actually get there. Dead stream. It happens sometimes. I just mark it as unlisted. And these were good times back then. Let's go through the analytics for who was actually watching up until I got my microphone. This is 9/4/17. Oop, don't want to do that. Hey there, Grandmaster Yoda. How's it going? What episode is that in Breath of the Wild? We already moved off of it. Actually, let me see. Is it too late for me to see it on screen? Probably. So we want early 2017 to September of 2017. 8 months of no microphone. So, you know, I know I said this earlier when I said like, oh, before I had a capture card, I still uploaded videos, but also even if after I had a capture card, I didn't have a microphone, I still uploaded videos. There's this concept called the toolbox fallacy. It's where like you say to yourself, oh, once I have this, that, and the other thing, then I will do the thing that I've been waiting to do. You don't want to sit around waiting for, waiting to begin. Just like start with whatever you have. And then, like, your first few uploads are going to be bad, your first few streams are going to be bad, your first few bits of commentary are going to be bad. You can actually go back and watch some of those older videos, and you'll see that I'm mostly silent. I actually had to learn to speak more often or more frequently. It's actually not so bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But, you know, it's probably Smash viewer battles. Yep. Casual Fridays. That's actually one of my, not this one, but Casual Fridays usually bring in the viewers. This is one of my top watched videos ever. This one's another online matches, 7 whatever. Smash late night battles, a late night stream. More Smash probably. You know, I'm uploading a lot of other content at this point, but, you know, people are here for Smash mostly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, Smash was the popular game at the time. Oh, you look at that, Breath of the Wild? I think this was the one with the raid in it, probably. Blind play number 12, yeah. In fact, I actually remember there was I remember trying to look at this video and finding exactly when I got raided. I think I kind of know because, like, I kind of am running this right where this thumbnail is happening. I'm running in place trying to, like, scale some mountains, and then I kind of stop for a bit because I have to, like, communicate and chat for a while. But yeah, that was a big day probably. Hey there, Schneidog, how's it going? Guess what stream I first appeared in? Oh, I'm not going to be able to remember that. Was it Smash related or was it Bravely Default related? Alright, so back to going through the content. I should have 2 pages of this, one for the analytics, one for the content. That way I don't have to keep losing my spot. So I'll have 2 tabs open. Did I click on analytics for this one? I did. Alright, so this one's going to be analytics over here. The other one is going to be, the other one's going to be the content. Back to Discord to consult my notes to see where I left off. Alright, so talking about laptops here. So around the same time that I got this microphone is around also the same time that I actually don't remember when I first got my laptop. Let's see, I can actually find it very easily because I am meticulous about keeping this information in the description. I want it in the description, not the title. My YouTube and my computer is kind of struggling right now. It doesn't like having all these YouTube tabs open. Hopefully the stream doesn't look terrible. You changed your intro scene and music. Not recently. That premiere that you saw earlier, that was the YouTube stock intro. Like, I can't get rid of it. I actually want the video to start exactly at 5 o'clock, but it always takes 2 extra minutes for YouTube to plug their intro. I'm still using the stream will start soon with the DDD and the Jolteon. It's actually pretty old and outdated at this point since I don't really play Sword and Shield anymore. I was going to say like I used to, but honestly it's really anymore. I don't really do it. Okay, so a test stream with the new laptop was in May of 2019. It actually took a long time before that happened, so we are way, way ahead. on that. But as you can see, apparently I switched over in the middle of the Xenoblade Chronicles playthrough to a new laptop as well. But this is the first one here. So, do I have one with a face cam? Do I mention anything about face cam in one of these descriptions? Seems like something I would do. I think that I mostly did face cam towards the end of Smash 4. And then I had already stopped doing face cam before Ultimate came out. Oh wait, that's not true. That can't be true, because my old computer actually didn't even have a camera on it, and so I only could have done face cam with the new laptop, actually. So then, I actually did write that in the right order. Okay, so we're gonna skip around a good bit. There are a lot of long plays along the way. One thing I do want to show this, actually. Let's talk about some failed projects, or let's talk about some successful projects on this channel, and then let's talk about some failed projects on the channel for a bit. So as I mentioned, I mostly am a streamer. That's where all this kind of comes from. And but I have tried to do video editing before, to varying degrees of success. My first successful, like, editing thing came from my Streamiversary. So I started my first live stream in like early January of 2017. And I'm still uploading like regular videos up until then, like replays and things like that. And at this point I'm able to just save the replays directly from my Elgato capture cards, so they are a lot higher quality than they used to be, even though they were pretty good quality before. Oh yeah, this is funny. So I actually recorded a session of like me crafting things and like looking at a map and figuring out where I needed to go ahead of time. Is this even in the Breath of the Wild playlist? Oh, it is. Okay. I'm honestly surprised that I had the... Well, I mean, I'm super like OCD, so I'm not that surprised that I did it. Some replay dump stuff. Oh, that's my old Mii Fighter over there. She was so good. Okay, so for the channel intro, actually, I did a couple of... why did I do that? For my 100 subscriber special, or no, for my 200 subscriber special. My 200 subscriber special was a channel introduction where I basically took clips from games that I was playing at the time and put them into a video over some music. So there's this one here, some Disgaea 5. I mean, you can't see the thumbnail because it was just black, but you don't need to see, you actually see the final product. And also some Splatoon 2, and I think I have a couple of other things in here somewhere. I think I forget all the things that I took it from. And I took some actual gameplay, or some actual camera footage, because this is also around the time that my wife is doing her YouTube channel as well, in 2017. And that created, so we had an actual IRL camera to take pictures of my game library. The game library actually hasn't changed too much. If you would look at the 200 subscriber special, I'm actually showing you every single video game that I owned physically at the time. And since then, I've only bought Switch games. So it's pretty much all the same games except the games that you already know that I have on the Switch. So if you ever wanted to know all the games that I own, you could just like pause that video over and over again and see what those are. And here's the final product of that, my 200 sub special. You can see that if you like just go to my channel homepage, or you can just search for it yourself. We held a stream 12 months after my first live stream. So January 14th, 2017 was my first live stream. 12 months later, on January 14th, 2018, I streamed for 12 hours, 1 hour for each of the 12 months, doing 6 games that I had previously played on this channel before, plus 6 games that I had never played before. So the games that I had played up until then were Wonder Boy and Breath of the Wild, Mario plus Rabbids, Sonic Forces, Super Smash Bros., and Splatoon 2. I actually intentionally did Splatoon 2 last because I didn't want to have Smash be the last one because I would run over for sure. So that was a pretty funny thing. And take care, Yoda. Thanks for stopping by. So that was my second one, cutting up that 12-hour video into 12 separate videos. That wasn't that difficult though. It was a lot more difficult to do the 200 sub special. I think that was the last. Oh no, that's not true. There was Oninaki Chapter 1, the movie. So a couple of years later, one of my favorite long plays is Oninaki. Like, the gameplay was fun, the leveling system was fun, the content was fun, the story was fun. I got some spoilers here, but I went through all of the long plays for that game and put them into one video and sped up the content that was uninteresting, like me just running around, and played at normal speed the combat and the explaining game concepts and the cutscenes and things like that. And so that it actually made a long movie. In retrospect, like, having seen how other people actually do long plays, I would probably cut out the stuff that was boring instead of speeding up the gameplay. It would make it a lot shorter. And I probably would still actually upload it as separate videos as opposed to just one really long video, because who's going to watch 3 hours worth of content? It's just too much. So that was a year later, in October of 2019. But then let's talk about so that was the last successful project that I did. A couple of unsuccessful projects, if I could just quickly filter by unlisted. Bite Sturks Beast, welcome back. Long time no see. I don't remember your new name. If you could remind me what your old YouTube name was, then I could remember who you are. But welcome back to the channel. Good to see you. Japanese voice acting kept me from keeping up with that one. Yeah, I mean, it's a Japanese game made by Japanese developers. Usually I try to play it in Japanese. Lately I've been leaving it up to votes, and the chat always votes for it to be in English. I understand now that a lot of people put these things on in the background to just like be watching. Whenever I'm watching a long play, it's always like I'm super focused and like will only pay attention to just that one thing. So I guess it's just like our viewing habits are just too different. Hey there, Janelle. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so some of these videos I just had duplicates. So I just uploaded the same video twice, so that's why they're in here. I really wanted to stream this guy at 5, but the gameplay footage looks bad. Like, I was skipping a lot of frames. It was running basically at 30 frames per second instead of 60. Join your last Pokemon live streams, you were playing Pokemon. Pokemon Sword and Shield or Pokemon Unite? Probably Unite, but welcome back. So, for my 3-year special, I think, or was it my 5-year special? I forget why I was doing this. But for... Oh, wait, no, this is different. Okay, so at... I tried doing the same thing for the Oninaki playthrough as Therion. I tried actually like going through and doing all the cutscenes in a row and putting them in one video. I actually recorded all of it, but it was so long. It wasn't so long. I just didn't actually upload it. I guess like I wanted to do all of them at once, like Therion and Primrose and so on. I was trying to do like extra content for Octopath Traveler. This one video summarizing chapter 1, someone like asked me randomly, like I was in the middle of chapter 3 or something like that, or maybe I was at the end of chapter 1, and they're like, oh, so what's happened so far in the story? And I was like, I've been playing this game for 50 hours, you want me to summarize it all? And they were like, yeah. So I tried my best and came up with this 10-minute summary of, you know, Octopath Traveler. Didn't upload it. Not sure why I didn't. I probably had like plans for it, but I got lazy. Another thing I wanted to do with Octopath Traveler, as I mentioned before, I wanted to like upload the cutscenes separately, and like do highlights from the game, but never got around to that either. This is a fun one here. When I was playing through Pokemon Sword, I complained so much about this character here, Hop. I talked about how annoying he was, and like how he was the worst, and how I couldn't stand him. But then the story progressed, and he had like a whole character arc, and by the end of it, I was like, okay, this guy's super respectable, and I really like him actually. And so I wanted to encapsulate all of my commentary about how awful Hop was and how it slowly transitioned into, okay, I see where he's coming from, to, okay, Hop is actually pretty good, to, wow, Hop is actually the strongest trainer in the entire game, and he's actually kind of a challenge to fight. So I was in the process of like basically putting together a video of all the Pokemon Sword gameplay, but it's only just Hop. Every moment that Hop is in the cutscenes and speaking, and me complaining about it. But I never got around. It was really funny. It was going to be a nice troll, but the moment's passed. It's too late for that. And I don't even have all the footage that I need. I only went through the 4 gameplay. I'm pretty sure that he showed up in a couple of other streams as well. And then for another failed project, let's see, why did I do this? I need to consult my notes here. So it was about to be 2020, so I guess it was 5 years. It's because the channel first went up in no, the channel first went up in November of 2015. This was for my streaming thing. So I streamed first in January of 2017, and I had been playing through all these long plays, and apparently I had gotten 21 long plays completed before January 14th of 2020. So it was going to be my 3-year stream special, and I was going to go through and show off all the, not all the gameplay, but like I was going to do highlights of me playing through some of these games, put over the gameplay music for those games while having like card inserts of like stats about the game, like how many hours I played it, how many play sessions there were, did I do side quests, did I 100% it, fun facts about like channel growth that happened during the gameplay. But it ended up being a really, really big project. And it's actually such a big project that my computer actually doesn't even have the storage space required to actually keep all of these and have me edit them. So it didn't work out, unfortunately. It would have been a really nice thing to do. But I think that I think I'm going to pivot on that. Like, I still have all this footage and I still have a lot of the game music for all this stuff. So what I was going to do was I was going to, instead of doing it like, here's everything for the past 3 years, I was just going to do like little mini series for those. So it was going to be like, you know, here's Stormy Sensei in 2017, and I was going to just do the 3 games that I finished in 2017, and then here's Stormy Sensei in 2018, I would do the 5 games I did in 2018, and so on. Oh, thanks for that, Bite. Missed an enemy skill? I don't understand what. Gotta redo my nibble now. Yeah, we played a lot of games on this channel already. Like 21 in the first 3 years, and we've done even more since then. These are unlisted just because, so I had a capture card, and there was a streamer, BadKitty239, that wanted to do a community montage. And so these 2 people did not have a capture card, and so they put it on shared content, and then I recorded the stuff on shared content and then uploaded it myself and then gave them the link so that Bad Kitty could access it. So that's why these are here. It's not actually my own content. But apparently I made my own submission to it. I don't remember what I did for it. And I don't even remember if I actually made it to the on the final product either. Oh, here's another one. So I never uploaded this one just because, so this is Random Ordinary Girl versus me in Smash Ultimate. And she'd never beaten me in Smash 4, and she did finally beat me in this game, so I made a highlight of it because it was super hype. But then, like, I didn't upload it because I didn't know whether she would take it the wrong way. Like, you know, oh, here's the one loss that I had to this person, like, you know, and I think I SD'd a couple of times in this match as well. So I didn't want it to, like, go over the wrong way. So I saved it, but it didn't upload it. I think those are all the failed projects at this point. There are a couple more, apparently. Let's see. You should do a highlight reel. I mean, that's kind of what the 21 games was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a highlight reel, but it's a really, really big project, and it takes a lot of storage space. Oh, so some of these... Why did I take copies of these? Oh, this is to get the thumbnails. Sometimes I could do this to get the thumbnails. Like, you download the entire copy, and then you trim down to just... Because YouTube automatically chooses the thumbnail for you. You get 3 options for what your thumbnail is going to be. So if you want it to be like a good one, you have to basically trim it down to where you actually want the thumbnail to be taken from. And I had to make this the thumbnail here because I didn't want a spoiler to be in the thumbnail. So, yeah, it's pretty fun. And then the rest of these are just tournament sets that need to be uploaded eventually. So I just, like, go into the YouTube editor, and I just, like, I guess I could go through what that kind of looks like momentarily. Unfortunately, YouTube got rid of some features that I used to use very frequently. So whenever I edit a video, I can't make a copy of it. I have to just make the changes in line with that video. So this would be like losers round 1, and you know, I just kind of erase what I don't want from it. And then, you know, put in the characters that were in there. Steve, Wolf. I actually don't remember who all was in here, but the thumbnails might help me out here. So there was also a Ryu. So that's there, and then you had to also add it to the playlist. And because YouTube is silly, it doesn't actually save the game that it came from. So you actually have to fill that in as well. So this is some behind the scenes action here. Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl was the only one that was there. And then sometimes this erases. So you have to like make sure that it actually saves properly. See? Game title went away. YouTube is fickle, basically. There we go. And then you just go through the editor, and then trim it down. This is going to take a while. Alright, so while this is happening, I'm going to take a look at... I'm not actually going to edit this here, but just to show you what the YouTube Studio video editor looks like. This is what I would use in order to cut out things. So the biggest example of this was in Final Fantasy X, when I was streaming, and then we were in the middle of a cutscene, and it was a very big, important, very impactful cutscene that revealed some really important stuff about the all of Spira, and then my Switch overheated and died and the stream ended abruptly, and that was kind of no good, so I had to go into that stream and erase the ending portion of it. But you know, you can use the trim feature to, you know, basically put down markers and then like cut out portions of the stream. And then you preview. You have to click preview in order to save it. Used to be able to save as a new file, but you can't do that anymore. YouTube got rid of it. In theory, you can actually blur things, like if you don't want someone's face to show up or you don't want someone's name to show up. But it's not really worth it for me. So yeah, that's the video editing process. Out of YouTube. It's actually not so bad. Sometimes I will download the video, re-upload it. So I'll download this whole stream, it's like 4 hours worth of content, upload it back to YouTube as a private video, trim it down as to make highlights, and then that's how I get these types of videos here. The hardest thing is like going through your own streams and like finding the stuff and then finding what you actually want to put in the highlights, because there's so much content and most of it is like not interesting. So you know, that's all that. Alright, let's see. What do I have on my notes here for what I need to talk about still? We only have a couple more topics left. I guess we can roll a couple of these together. Alright, let's... go back to the live posts here. Actually, I could roll that in as well. Okay. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, in 2019 I got a new laptop. Let's actually take a look at those analytics during that time period. So let's first actually get where we need to go. Description contains Windows Surface. Hey there, the next best. You need a third party to compile the highlight reels. I actually have the power to do that. Let's see. I actually might not be able to show you where that exists. Okay, I can. Good. So I actually have the ability to invite people to the channel as editors. So they have the ability to just edit down videos or make new or download videos and things like that. As well as people to just be able to have access to the studio without being able to edit anything. Yeah, I don't know what... I'm pretty sure the editor is able to download videos. And so I know that there are channels that have editors, but it's not really something I'm looking into at the moment. Like, it would be fun for sure. I did Portal during the pandemic, I believe. It was a very short one. It was like during the... It was only like a... I did it all in one stream, I believe, actually. Alright, so May of 2019. May 24th, 2019. So 1/14/17. It's first live stream to 5/23/19. And I could actually compare this to the same period. So these are all my videos, you know, before I got my new laptop, which allowed me to use Streamlabs OBS and also use a face cam, and also have like an overlay to show things like my watermark and you know, the fact that I'm able to play music over the streams and things like that. It's unimportant really to even, like, these numbers don't really mean anything because there's so little that's happening here, because it's still also very early on in my channel. Even though these look kind of bad, like, it's actually pretty good, because at this point we are doing like we're going through like Super Mario Odyssey at this point. We've done, which is a really popular series on the channel. We're going through you know, Breath of the Wild, which is another good one. And then I don't want the preceding period. I want the same. But in a different time period. Am I not able to do that? Oh, I am able to do that. Okay, good. Alright, so this is going to be a little weird. Bear with me here. Because the next big milestone, technically, is actually the pandemic for this channel. Because that's kind of technically when the channel took off. And I do believe it was like March of 2020 or so. Interestingly enough, Cat Quest 2 does involve dogs, but not Cat Quest 1. There's not a single dog in all of Cat Quest. So, as you can see, the numbers actually improve quite dramatically, but, well, compared to the beginning of this, but, you know, towards the end of this, it looks pretty much the same, really. It's just a bit more consistent, I guess. But during this time, we get to 500 subscribers, and I do the tier list. That's my #1 video in that time period. And a lot of Ultimate Viewer battles, some Kirby Super Clash, some Pokemon Sword content. I participated in a lot of Discord tournaments from Bad Kitty back in the day. Ever since they stopped streaming the tournaments, I kind of stopped participating generally, but they still happen if you just join the Bad Kitty 239 Discord server. You can actually go to any one of these streams and click on the link in the description to get to their server. Also, the link is in my Discord if you go to the featured channels section. Somewhere in this period, I start turning on the face cam occasionally, but only occasionally. Generally, I don't really like face cams on any stream. Like, it's kind of weird, right? So, for me, I got into this, and I guess this is kind of one of the last topics, I guess, the motivation for streaming, generally, is that I started off mostly because I wanted to be able to play RPGs and then put them down for like a year and then come back and remember what happened in the RPG previously and not be lost. Because before I was a streamer, I would play a lot of games at once, and then I would stop playing. Like, as new games would come out, I would stop playing old games, and then eventually I would try to go back to my old RPGs, be like, I have no idea what's going on, I don't understand this combat system anymore, what are these items? And then I'll just start a new save file. And so there are a lot of RPGs that I've played halfway through or maybe a quarter of the way through, like multiple times, but have never actually finished the game. Final Fantasy VI, I've gotten to the final boss like 3 times. Blue Dragon, I've gotten to Disc 2 3 times. Xenoblade Chronicles, I had gotten to Sword Valley 2 times prior to actually streaming and finishing the game. The list goes on and on. Like Final Fantasy VIII, I've played through to Disc 3 twice. Final Fantasy VII, I played the Disc 2 3 times. Final Fantasy Tactics, I've played, well, they didn't have separate discs, I guess, but I played Final Fantasy Tactics and did not beat it, but I got very far story-wise and like level-wise 4 times actually. So that was the primary thing. I wanted to be able to like have continuity in one single playthrough. The other reason is because when I watch other people play video games, I think to myself, oh, why don't they just do this you know, I would play, I would do this differently, I would play better than this. So I wanted to have, like, you know, content that I would like to be able to watch out there. So all in all, that is all to say that I put gameplay first, basically, on the channel. And having, like, you know, really loud borders or like shrinking down the output of the gameplay so that you can put who recently subscribed on is like kind of abhorrent to me. And so I've played with having a face cam on before, but I didn't really like the footage that I got from it, generally speaking, and I don't think that it really added much to the content that is the gameplay. So I took it off, and I'm going to probably keep it off forever. So yeah, that's all that stuff. I like having a microphone though, because I get to talk about what my thoughts are while I'm playing, and like I can talk strategy and things like that. That actually does add to the gameplay. So like you can understand why I'm doing particular moves, or like if I'm worried about a particular upcoming attack, why I'm defending rather than attacking, or you know how close I think something is. Like if I'm at low health but I'm not worried about it because my healer's turn is coming up, then I can say like, oh, I'm not worried about it, as opposed to, oh, I'm running out of mana, so even though I'm at full health, I'm really worried right now. Let's get rid of this comparison here. It actually is really ugly. So then the last two things that I want to talk about is the pandemic and monetization. So let's show you kind of the information for the pandemic here. Alright, so this is, wow, it's been almost 2 years. That's so sad. The thing about the pandemic is, prior to me working from home every day, streams were very rare and I didn't usually play with viewers. Smash After Work was every Monday and Thursday. And because of that, you know, I had a guaranteed, like, I'm not working past 6 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays, which means I usually had to make up the work, like on Fridays or, you know, Wednesdays or whatever. So I didn't stream every day, and I didn't stream every day, and I didn't play with viewers. Those are the main things to keep in mind. So now that I'm working from home and I'm not really seeing other people, that now means that I'm going to be streaming more often, because where am I going to go? And I'm going to be playing with viewers, because who else am I going to play with? So you can see the difference between the two. This is the previous year. So day over day, except for this one random day for whatever reason, I have more views. This is probably like one's a Saturday and one's not a Saturday or something like that. But the channel literally exploded during the pandemic, because I was actually doing daily content basically, and most of it was with viewers as well. Can I actually see the number of subscribers? Is that a thing that I can look at? Oh, I can do subscribers by date, right? So I am the king of On the Bright Side. If you knew me IRL, you would know that. You probably actually have figured that out as well from just watching me and talking to me in chat. But that is kind of one major thing that has happened. Obviously, you gain, the more subscribers you have, the more subscribers you gain. But also, because YouTube just gives you more impressions and things like that. But also, this is kind of unrealistic. That, like, you know, towards the end here, this is how many subscribers I'm getting. And then towards the beginning, like, this is very, very consistently just gaining way, way more over time. So that's like one thing that kind of was a benefit for me. Well, there were actually a lot of benefits for me from the pandemic. Like, I tend to be more introverted anyway. You can kind of tell because I'm spending my Saturday in my basement talking to you guys. But in addition to that, you know, I get to work from home, which means I get to hang out with my wife during the day, which is pretty nice. And also my YouTube channel blew up. So that kind of is kind of the last era, I guess, for the stream. So I guess the eras that I would put would be like, you know, the pre-capture card. So this is just like Smash 4 uploads. And then there's me having a capture card and doing viewer battles. And then there's the Switch launches, and I'm starting to do like more Nintendo content more often. And I've switched to doing one long play at a time. And then my new laptop, which allows me to have an overlay and use Streamlabs and have all these extra fancy things like viewer counts and watermarks and transitions and scenes and things like that. And then finally, the pandemic era. I guess technically we can consider ourselves in a new era now because we're post 1,000 subs. I'm able to do community posts, which will be pretty nice. I'm gonna be probably posting pretty often actually. When I'm starting a new long play, I'm going to be announcing it on the community tab. I may occasionally harken back to like old long plays and say like, hey, here's a playlist of me going through Wonder Boy. It's an old classic game, but you might enjoy it. Or here's me playing Oninaki. Or, you know, here's my Xenoblade Chronicles playthrough. It's really nice. Things like that. I also plan on plugging other channels that are up and coming. Like a lot of people that I watch are at around like 200 to 500 subscribers. It's kind of like the vibe that I like having, you know, that kind of size, which is why that's usually who I'm raiding. And also why I always raid, like if I'm deciding between two different raid targets, I usually choose whoever has fewer subs because the most bang for your buck. So you can expect a lot of community posts. They're mostly going to be centered around the channel. Since you guys are here, I'll give you a sneak peek, or I'll give you a little hint. There are going to be some very cryptic polls on the community tabs. The answers for those polls are going to influence a choice-based game that we will be playing in the future. Where like, yeah, so that's, keep an eye out for very cryptic sounding polls. They're going to have like major impacts on a future long play, but I'm going to keep you guys somewhat in the dark up until then. What's the future looking like? I guess I can also field any questions that you guys have. But first, before I do that, I should talk about monetization. That's the last major thing I wanted to talk about. So the channel is eligible for monetization at this point. We have 4,000 watch hours and we have 1,000 subscribers within the past year. We actually are knocking it out of the park in watch hours. But we're not going to monetize. I've talked about this a little bit on stream during the Bravely Default streams. There are a couple of reasons for it. One reason is, if I could get out of the analytics real quick and show you what my my live streams look like, generally speaking. All I do is upload like video game content, and a lot of video game music is copyrighted, which means that, you know, copyright claim, scroll down a bit further, copyright claim. This isn't even as bad as it used to be. Like when I do long plays, it's a lot worse. So even if I were to monetize, I actually would not get very much money because all of the because all of the things that ended up getting copyright claimed, I don't get any of the money for that. Another reason why I wouldn't want to do it is because of ads. I hate ads personally. I pay extra to not have ads on like Hulu and like HBO Max and Amazon Prime and things like that, Netflix, and I have ad block on my computer. I just don't want to see ads ever, and because I don't want to see ads ever, I don't want you to see ads ever. Unfortunately, if my videos get copyright claimed, then ads will play. The money is not going to me, it's going to whoever got the copyright claim. In this case, it's Square Enix. In this case, it's the developers of Monaco, which is completely fair. That's like no problem with that. I think the developers should get paid for the work that they do. Would I go full-time if I got monetized? No, not at all. There's no good way, there's no like humble way of saying this, but I couldn't possibly make enough money on YouTube in the near future for me to leave the job I currently have. Programmers generally across like the country do pretty well for themselves. I will say that I'm very, very comfortable right now with the position that I have, and I would be very uncomfortable if I had to worry about like the YouTube algorithm and like following trends and keeping a constant upload schedule and things like that. So there's like, I would have to basically lose my job in some very unfortunate circumstance for me to consider YouTube as like a thing. And even then I would have to have tried finding another job and failed at it before I considered YouTube as like my main thing. So YouTube doesn't actually pay very well. The way that they set up monetization is so that Google doesn't have to spend lots of money to basically pay people that have these millions and millions of views. Like there are lots, like if you go to any trending, go to the trending tab on YouTube and you'll see that, you know, it's very easy to make millions off of just like nothing basically. No, I don't want to say nothing because they are putting in work. They're, you know, video editing is very difficult. I've seen it for myself. But, you know, it's like a silly clip of you playing some game or like you know, pranking somebody and or like just uploading the content that you were already going to upload to the TV, like the Jimmy Fallon show or something like that, and you get millions of views and you're getting ad revenue for all those millions of views. So YouTube pays you fractions of a penny for every ad that you watch. So if I were to get monetized, it would probably take me about a month to get $10. So after a year, they also don't mail you a check unless you earn $100 within a particular time period. I think it's either 10 or 100, something like that. So I would have to get a lot more views in order to actually get to that level and get any money at all, and it wouldn't be enough for me to live in my house or eat food. So there's not YouTube is not going to be my moneymaker for the foreseeable future. And if I get to the point where I am doing that, then, you know, the four of you will know that something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. So I think that was the last thing that I wanted to cover. Let me look at my notes real quick. Pandemic monetization, facecam, laptop, microphone, capture card, origin channel name. All right, yep. So that's everything that I wanted to cover myself. I will now take questions, and I will wait 20 seconds because of the fact that I have normal latency on for what you guys want to ask me right now. Oh, a couple of other things, I guess. like, I want to talk a little bit more about monetization. I'm not really done with that. So, I make plenty of money already. That's one reason I don't want to do it. I don't like ads. The videos that I make usually get copyrighted anyway, so they wouldn't get any money myself. So, in addition to all of that, so I have a job, I don't need the money. There are people out there that are actually doing this as their main source of income, and there's limited money out there. If you're going to donate to somebody, you should donate to somebody that, you know, is actually depending on this for rent or food. Like, I understand that you want to support, you know, a streamer, and maybe you want to support me more than someone else, but I think that, you know, if you donate to someone else, and basically if you want to donate to me, you can just tell me that, hey, I donated $10 to this streamer that needs to make rent for you, and then that will be totally okay with me. On my own channel, I actually have a link to donate in the description of every video because people asked me for it so that they could donate. We've actually gotten a couple of donations before. Streamlabs takes a lot less money out of your pocket than YouTube does from the super chat. Like, super chat, you'll get like 75 cents if you donate $1. I think that you get 97 cents, or maybe it's like 90 cents if you donate $1 to through PayPal, or which is what Streamlabs uses. But I don't use that for my own money. Any money that I get through that donation link, I just donate to charity. I use the PayPal charitable donations. My charitable organization of choice is Jumpstart for Young Children. It is a company that makes sure that underprivileged students, well, they're not students yet, but underprivileged children get read to at a young age, so they get to go to preschool, so that they actually, you know, stand a chance. Because, you know, I was already reading by the time I went to kindergarten, but because I'm very privileged growing up. But not everyone has that luxury. You know, if you have parents that, you know, are working, you know, 2 or 3 jobs in order to keep food on the table, then they might not have time to read to their children, or like practice reading with their children, or things like that. And so, you know, I'm having a head start in kindergarten makes all the difference, because, you know, if you already know the things they're trying to teach you, then that's easy. And then when they start trying to teach you new things, if you are still struggling to learn the old things, then that's just going to be a problem. Like, if you don't know how to add, you're not going to be able to learn how to multiply, basically. And if you don't know how to multiply, you're not going to be able to do, you know, algebraic equations, or you're not going to be able to factor polynomials, things like that. So, as far as questions go, how's my year's been so far? My year's been really great. That's kind of weird to say, because we've had such a off year. But personally, I haven't really been that affected by world events or like political or national events. And I've actually been better off personally from like things like the coronavirus and things like that. As I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about the pandemic and how that affected my YouTube stream. No Child Left Behind is ruining education. I don't remember if that's still actually in effect, but I do remember actually that No Child Left Behind went into effect while I was in high school, actually. So I know the effects of that. There are a couple of other things that kind of ruin the education system. It's like, technically, it's too much to get into, really. But basically, we don't pay teachers enough. It's not a prestigious enough job to be a teacher. The teachers' union is too powerful, and it's very difficult to fire a bad teacher. And the school system is kind of so entrenched in its old ways that even the new teachers that are like going into the system, that are all like optimistic and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, get disenchanted very easily because things are so bad. Schools generally don't have enough power to discipline students because parents sue too often. There's a lot of things going on. Brain drain, like when you actually have students that do well in one school, it's very common for those students to be taken away out of their home school and put into like a school for a bunch of smart students. So you end up having just like this one smart school that everything's good, and then you have a bunch of like wastelands left behind. I don't want to say wastelands, but you basically like the word is brain drain basically, where you take all the smart students away, and now you don't have those well-behaved students to kind of like sit behind and like mellow out or even out the classrooms behind. Class sizes are too big. We don't have enough teachers because we can't hold on to them because it's not lucrative to be a teacher. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Alright, so let's go back to some of these questions here. What was the stream in which you first appeared? It's like in, I think you said it was February of this year, when I was playing Zelda and Sephiroth. What is the backlog looking like? Alright, so we got quite the backlog. I always keep the backlog in my Discord server, in the future game streaming channel, which is available to people that have the YouTube subscriber role in Discord. You somewhat are able to vote on on what I actually end up streaming by using the reaction for those things. But basically, games get released faster than I'm able to pull things off the backlog. Some upcoming projects, when the Summer of Smash is over, like after Labor Day, we're going to immediately jump in to Final Fantasy VIII, because the last Final Fantasy game we did was 10, and it's been long enough since we've done an RPG. So we're going to be in Final Fantasy VIII to start with. I want to kind of clear off a bunch of like old school games. So like I want to play through like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I want to play through Metroid Zero Mission, because I tried playing through Metroid, but the gameplay is so awful. NES gameplay is really terrible. But Metroid Zero Mission is a remake that you can buy on the Wii U game shop if it hasn't shut down yet. So I'll be playing it on there. And then like some other NES games like Super Mario Bros. 3, Legend of Zelda, things like that. And then the next RPG after that is going to be Project Triangle Strategy, which releases in October. And then the RPG after that, it depends. So depending on how far along we are at that point, I might have a new laptop. If I do have a new laptop at that point, then that laptop will be powerful enough for me to stream Final Fantasy XI, which is an MMO. We won't go through the entire story of that game, but it is soloable, and it's free to play. There's a trial version, so you can like play up to level 60 or something like that with a bunch of restrictions. But if I don't have if I don't have access to Final Fantasy XI by then I'll be playing Final Fantasy XII instead, which is a standard RPG game. And then a couple of RPGs will happen after that, I guess. I really want to go through Mass Effect and Dragon Age, like for real, and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles as like side RPGs. And I actually have a good number of like Xbox games that I want to go through. I want to finish Monaco, and I already mentioned Fable and Mass Effect and Dragon Age. I didn't mention Fable, but that's another game that I want to do. So those are kind of like, that's the short list, quote-unquote short list of games that are coming up down the pipeline. There are a lot of them, and they are each like 30 hours or more. But, you know, it's good to have, it would be a problem if I were running out of games to play. Like, I don't want to buy a game so that I can play it on stream. That's like unreasonable. Like, I want this to be a place where like I play the games that I already want to play, and you guys happen to be watching it because I happen to be streaming it. That's always been the mantra for the channel. Like, I'm going to be playing these games anyway, I may as well stream it for you. So that's the concept there. Alright, that was all there. And then the next one is, I don't know what to ask, that's fine. Does my wife has my account information in case something happens to me? No, she does not. If something were to happen to me, I mean, she has my Discord server. I guess I could put some sort of system in place so that you are all notified that something terrible has happened. I would imagine that, like, if something terrible were to happen to me and I were unable to tell you all, whatever happened would be so terrible that, you know, it would not be the first thing on my wife's mind to notify you that something has happened. But I could come up with a system for notifying you all. It probably wouldn't be my wife, though, because, like, I wouldn't want to burden her with that. Oh yeah, City of Heroes. If I get a new laptop, that would be another major change to the stream schedule. We will be playing City of Heroes at least once a week on stream, because I already play it, you know, at least twice a week. Yeah, I need to get a PS5. That would be really nice. Final Fantasy 16 still doesn't have a release date yet. So I told myself that once Final Fantasy 16 has a release date, that's when I will actually go out and buy, or like try to start buying a PS5. How City of Heroes streams work like? I would probably have a character that I make on the stream. So I would probably have a couple of different ones for that. So I would probably have a character that I make on stream, and I go through the story content and like read out all the content in comic book fashion and go through the story and actually explain kind of the origin of all the different enemy groups and whatnot. So that would be like one type of City of Heroes stream. Another one would be me going through the game as like each of the different archetypes. So like Defender, Scrapper, Stalker, Tanker, Mastermind, and so on. And just like playing the game as normal. And then another one would probably be with viewers. I would probably, like, when I'm playing as Defender or Tank or whatever those other things are, I would probably be playing with viewers on those as well, if there are viewers to play with. And then I would have like a specific stream where like I only play with viewers and like it doesn't matter who I play as. One thing that would be nice to do would be to have like viewer task forces. There are certain missions that require a team of 8, and then there are even some missions that require like a team of 50 or like of 20. And if I were to actually get enough people to get around to that, then that'd be nice. Not 14, we're talking about City of Heroes, but Final Fantasy 14 is another one that I would like to play. I actually tried to download it, but there's not enough space on my computer to actually get it. If I erase all of my video editing projects, I might have enough space, but then I'd be erasing all of my video editing projects. Even though they're all unfinished and technically considered failures, I still keep them around because, you know, I might one day decide to actually finish them. If I were to play 14, it would be on PlayStation 5 though. I don't think I would do it on the PC, even though it would be better to do on PC for sure, because I could have macros like, you know, shift whatever and control whatever and shift clicks and whatnot. It would still just be a lot less trouble on PS5. Or maybe I'll buy it on both. Like, who knows? If I have a computer that's good enough to stream it, then I might just stream it. We'll see. I don't know yet. And I don't think that Final Fantasy 16 is the game that's going to make a lot of other people buy a PlayStation 5. No, there was nothing forced about that. That was Quina and Vivi. They had something real. Yeah, Chomper knows. I play a really good support in pretty much every game that I play, but especially City of Heroes. I'm like really good at playing support. So Chomper has felt the power. One thing that I should have mentioned, there are a lot of unfinished series on the channel. I kind of want to finish them. Like, I want to actually finish Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I want to finish Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I want to finish Metroid Zero Mission. Yeah, I don't really like having unfinished channel series lying around. Where would I see that? I think I need to go to customization, actually. Hey there, Lubba. I guess another thing that I should probably mention, I should probably do like some sort of like tier list as well. Of long plays. I think that'd be interesting. Because I have lots of opinions on like the games themselves and also the long plays and what they mean to the channel. Some I value more than others. And there's some games that aren't that great, but as from a long, I shouldn't say they're not that great. If there were a game that weren't that great, then I just wouldn't play it. But there are some long plays on the channel that have more significance over the channel than usual. We're not going to do that now because the stream has been going on for quite a while. But that could be like some future content. I wanted to see what the unfinished streams were. Some of these are really old. Like the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze stream, I did at my 1-year stream anniversary. So was I Am Setsuna, and so was Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Use Firefox? What else would I use? When I had a Mac, I used Safari. Chrome is terrible. Don't use Chrome. I wouldn't be able to stream this if I used Chrome because it uses like literally all of your RAM. Edge is actually not that terrible. I actually use Edge for work, and it's actually pretty good. But I like Firefox. I used it in college, and I use it now. The only reason why I haven't switched to Edge yet is because I already have Firefox, so like there's no point to really swapping. I would like to try Edge, because if it uses up less processing power than Firefox, then that'd be nice. Yeah, but these 3 games are 4 years in the making. So I need to actually finish those. I really don't like them sitting around. And then this one, You know, I tried playing with viewers. I tried having Crystal Chronicles as like a with viewers game, so I played on the weekends. It's not going to really work as a on the weekends with viewers game. It's got to be like a long play, sit down and actually go through the game, play the story. And I'll still play with viewers, but you know, it's got to be a consistent thing. Then Monaco, I tried playing that during the summer because we're playing Smash Monday through Friday here in the summers, and Saturday, Sunday we're doing not Smash. So Monaco I tried doing, but Monaco is too long of a game, so it's going to have to wait to be another long play. Yeah, Edge is nice. I like Edge. Can't complain about it. So those are all the topics basically that I have here. Didn't you say you wanted to do a Smash tier list based on viewers' characters? What? Like the most number of most viewers that use that character, or what? Like my best viewers' best character and putting them all in a tier list? The closest thing to that I've thought about doing is making a tier list where I literally have put it up for votes for every character. So like, I don't have any opinion whatsoever myself, and I just let chat put every character on the tier lists and seeing what it looks like, and just like watching you guys argue. Favorite viewers tier list? Well, it's going to be Jason plays 100 in SS tier, and everyone else is just going to be A tier. I wouldn't be so rude as to actually compare you all, but I'm okay with putting Jason above you all because they were my first viewer. So that would be a very boring tier list. When the final DLC comes out, I'll actually do an actual tier list. Like all the tier lists that I've been doing, except for the 5.0 tier list, have been like weird variations of tier lists, as opposed to like what people usually mean when they say tier list. Alright, what other questions do you guys have? We've been going at this for... It has not been 2 minutes, YouTube. We've been doing this for 2 hours. So I'm about ready to end. Hey there, Kirby fan. Good to see you again. Kirby fan is from the Smash 4 days, old-time viewer of mine. One of my old regulars. What is the longest game you've played? Well, if you want to talk like real-time hours, like probably Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think that's my longest one. I actually put information like that in the playlists themselves. Uh, 1 to 10 of many. If you want to talk like from start to finish, like the number of calendar days it took for me to finish, it's definitely Breath of the Wild. That one took 9 months for me to go through. I've been kind of lazy lately. I need to update these. So that one was 69 hours for Final Fantasy X, and the playlist length. Oh, that's terrible. I actually don't want to do it that way. Can I expand this more? No, I can't. That's very sad. Hyrule Warriors was 21 hours. 161 hours. Yeah. 158 hours on the final save. So Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was definitely the longest one. Compare that to another RPG, Final Fantasy IX, 52 hours. 41 for Pokemon Sword. 40 for Oninaki. 32 hours for World of Light. Xenoblade Chronicles was, for the non-filler streams together, it was 55 hours, and then with the filler, I think it was about 100, which is still nowhere close to 161 for Xenoblade Chronicles. But I actually keep notes generally for the first 21 games that I've finished. It took me from March of 2017 until December of 2017 to beat Breath of the Wild on stream. And it took 27 play sessions for 98 total hours. So even though it wasn't that long, it was like just a while, you know? Yeah, that's definitely the longest one. So I gave you 2 answers. I have the fondest memories of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the golden age of Stormy. Yeah, it was a long one. Lasted a while and good stuff. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is very, very good. Definitely recommend it. I think it might have been Xenoblade... No, that's not true. I want to say that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 might have been the first time that start to finish I had a microphone. But that can't possibly be right. Yeah, that's definitely not right at all. I don't know why I said that. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was like the longest of the long plays, though. Did I play Skyward Sword HD yet? No. I do plan on buying it, though, because I've always wanted to play it. Matchup charts? Yeah, I probably will. Stormy doesn't have favorites, talking about viewers. That's true. I just remember Bravely Default 2 just not ending. Yeah. We played, there were lots of times where I was like, alright, we're just gonna just do this one thing. And then 4 hours later, all right, we're almost done here. There were a couple of times where I would say we're almost done here, like 4 times within the stream. And it was just like last forever, and I thought that the game was over a couple of times. But I'm not gonna go into details as why I thought that, because that'd be spoilers. You should watch the series, it was a really good one. 250 hours of Stormy shipping Rex and Pyra, how boring. Well, mostly it was just me complaining about how dumb Rex was. Like, how do you go from having the main protagonist be Shulk to having the main protagonist be Rex? It boggles the mind. Yeah, I don't know whether to be happy or sad that Bravely Default 2 gave you the ability to see how many treasure chests were remaining in a particular area, because we spent a lot of time searching for the last chest. But it was worth it, because at the end we could say that we got every single chest in the game. Oh yeah, the tutorial series. I really should finish that up. I'm thinking that I might do YouTube Shorts for this though. Like, instead of doing full-on videos, just like giving particular interactions, and instead of like, you know, going into depth, just saying like, oh, you know, if you have an enemy that keeps on jumping over you, like jumping and hitting your shield, instead of like trying to shield grab it, maybe you should anti-air them, for example. Because, you know, I could do like a minute's worth of content for this sort of stuff. Oh yeah, this is that playlist I was telling I Like Pie about earlier. In the early days, I would post all of my tournament sets to a playlist. This has not been updated in a long time, as you can see. March 2019. I never added Wi-Fi tournaments except for versus SDN on here. Oh yeah, Torn in the Golden Country. I need to like circle back and do the DLC for the characters for the games I've already done. Like Mario plus Rabbids actually also has its own DLC that I just never did. Oh boy, this is my first tournament set, I think, in Ultimate. No, my second one. My first one was the day after Ultimate came out. I played all Kirby. Oh wait, no, this is, wait, hold up. This is me versus, that's the set I'm thinking about. What is this then? Why is the order weird? This definitely happened before this one did. Oh well. Or did it? You know what? I'm wrong. It actually, I registered for this first, but then Ultimate was announced to come out earlier that year, after I had registered, so this happened after the fact. Invincible 3 is a regional in my area. And this is a weekly between two lakes. It shut down because of the pandemic. It probably won't come back for a long time, but I wonder what this even looks like. It's probably so completely awful. Bonds was previously PR'd in Smash 4, and he's really good. There was the first person that I lost to in doubles against when I started playing in tournaments. Apparently I did pretty well. I made it out of, went past winners round 2, lost winners round 3, or made it past winners, losers round 3, and then likely lost to Fatty. Because I remember they're pretty good. I think I win this match, and then I lose in top 32. No, I lose this one because this is top 32. doubles. Oh, the order is different. Okay. I'm double wrong. So this is all Smash 4 stuff up here. It's actually in the order in which I added them, or in the order in which they happened. Usually my playlists are in reverse order, because you want to watch from the front to the back, but that's okay. Alright, take it easy, your troopers. Are there any final questions about YouTube, YouTubing, the future of the channel, things like that? We're almost about to hit 3 hours here. Thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. I'll try to do more specials. We had a couple of other ideas in the Discord server on how we should celebrate. But those are all more difficult than doing this. Will there be any more tournaments? There definitely won't ever be this many tournaments. I kind of did too many for the summer. Like, the summer of Smash lasted too long, honestly. Like, I'm ready to get back to long plays at this point. I'm really excited to go back to playing role-playing games. Like, I know that Smash is kind of what this channel is, like, the biggest thing on this channel, but it's not really the thing that I enjoy doing the most on the channel. But since I already committed to, you know, doing it for the whole summer, I'll do it. In the future, it'll probably just be June and July. We'll have tournaments, and I think that occasionally they'll be, like, if I were to do tournaments during the year when it's not, like, on a Friday, like, I might do Saturday tournaments occasionally, because then more people are able to join during the school year, but they'll probably be, like, not serious whatsoever. Like, it'll be, like, hazards on, or it'll be doubles, or it'll be, you can only use one character once per the entire tournament, or things like that. Or your opponent chooses your character. Different variations of tournaments, so it's like very obvious and clear that it's just supposed to be for fun. And I don't really mind like playing Smash more often. I think that another issue with the summer of Smash is that it would have worked a lot better last year when I was just completely in the pandemic. Driving into work and then coming home afterwards, and then like having Smash after work on 2 of the days doesn't really work with like consistent upload schedules and whatnot. You've kind of probably already noticed by now that I haven't been streaming as often since July, because that's when I started going back into the office. But there will probably be more tournaments, just not very frequently. Like, it took a whole year, or it took 2 whole years for me to say, between me saying, yeah, we'll have tournaments at some point, to actually having tournaments at some point. So, don't hold your breath, but it should happen at some point in time. Apparently, this particular video is doing pretty well. Who knew? You know what games you're going to play for the future? I did talk about that not too long ago, but I will say it again. We're going back to, after Labor Day, we're going back to doing the long plays mostly on the channel. We're going to be playing the Gen 4 remakes on Pokemon. We're going to be playing Final Fantasy VIII. We're going to be playing Metroid Zero Mission, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Fable, Well, the thing is, I like all of them. Like, I'm going to, be playing Final Fantasy VIII first because I really want to play that. So we'll be doing that. We're going to be finishing Super Mario 64 pretty soon. We only have like 2 more weeks left for the Summer of Smash. I need to find a game that I'll want to play in the meantime. I might not play another long play. I might just play Pokemon Unite or City of Heroes instead of replacing it with some other game, because we're so close to the end of summer anyway. I may as well just wait and then just like do a real game or whatever. But we have lots of games that I want to get done. And if you join the Discord server, I think that you're in the Discord, Kirby fan. But there is a channel where I put all the games that I plan on streaming in the future. Not all the games that I really definitely want to play in the future. Whenever like a Nintendo Direct comes out or like an Indie World or an Indie Showcase comes out, I usually like make a mini post where I talk about like these are the games that look interesting to me from the showcase. But those just look interesting to me and I'm not committed to buying them yet. Yeah, I think I'll play Arceus. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely play it. I'm not as excited for it as I am for Diamond Pearl, which is kind of weird because like that's the one that everyone else is excited for. But Diamond and Pearl had like a special place in my heart. That was the first game that I like knew what I was doing in Pokemon, because up until then I like, I just kind of caught what I wanted to catch because they looked cool, and I leveled everything up evenly. And I usually like whatever it's basically like Ash, basically, where I would just catch whatever I found along the way, and I just didn't change my party at all. But starting in Gen 3, Ruby and Sapphire, I used a guide the whole time. So like I looked up what Pokemon I wanted to play with from the very beginning, and I stuck to just following that guide the whole time. Gen 4 was the first time that I didn't use a guide, but knew enough about Pokemon that I could just like make a team and like have fun with it in battle and like understand what's going on. But I still didn't understand what EVs were, or IVs, so like I still wasn't that great at the games. That was also the last generation that I played before Gen 8. I skipped over 5, 6, and 7 because I didn't own a 3DS and I was in college, so I think Black and White was on the DS, but I didn't play it because I was in college. I didn't have money or anything like that. And Gen 8 was when I like super knew what I was doing. Like I looked up how to like get good at the game and got pretty decent at it, I would say. It'll be interesting to play Gen 4 because they have lobbies. So you can actually have like 8 people in a room at a time and they can all battle each other, and we can do like multi-battles and things like that. So it'll be really good for a streamer as a streamer to be able to have that type of gameplay going. I want my Black and White remix. So it's my first non-emulator Pokemon game. Influenced my name a bit. I mean, I know that Garchomp is in the game. Oh, okay, Hydreigon, and swept the league with bite moves only. Yeah, Crunch. It's ironic that Hydreigon's not even like known as a physical attacker. So I guess your Hydreigon would be your Chomper then. Oh, I am able to clip my own content. Okay. Am I able to do that? Hang on, I'm going to just quickly show nothing. I am not able to clip my own hot content from here, from the YouTube Studio dashboard. I have to do it from my phone, which is a little silly. But I am able to make highlights, so I guess it's fine. I'll live. Alright, well, I just wanted to see that real quick. Back to the internet. I'm gonna buy the remakes because Pokemon. Yep. That is generally how it goes. Yeah, I'm famous. I was on stream. Is it nice to put on face cam? I guess. I'm like, so the way I'm just like, I have my microphone here next to me on the couch, and the way I'm lounging, I wouldn't actually be on camera right now if the camera were to be turned on. This is actually usually how I play, generally speaking. So like I only get up to like change scenes or anything like that, or if like I need to focus and like go gamer mode, then I'll sit up. But generally speaking, I'm kind of like lying on the couch, and it's actually wouldn't even make sense to me for me to have the face cam on. I'm also in my pajamas, so I didn't like dress up or anything for you guys. I did momentarily consider turning on face cam, but you know, it didn't make sense. Diamond or Pearl? See, the thing is, I bought Diamond growing up, and I love Dialga. It looks so cool. I actually got a Dialga plushie. It wasn't for myself, I bought it for a friend. But it's still like the one of the few, actually the only Pokemon plushie that I ever bought. And you know, everything about Diamond speaks to me. But Diamond is also the more popular one, which means that it would make sense for me to get Pearl, so that I would have the version exclusives that no one else has. And also the fact that, you know, usually I buy the opposite of what I got growing up. So I've had Pokemon Red growing up as a kid, so when the Gen 1 remakes came out, I got Leaf Green instead of Fire Red. And when Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu came out, I got Eevee because I played Pokemon Yellow growing up. So, you know, it would make sense for me to get Pearl according to my own rules, but I'm probably going to get Diamond anyway because I just like Diamond more. Like the color scheme, I just prefer. I prefer the dark blue and silver to the pink and pearl. But that could be another thing. Like I could put a community post up, say like, hey, you know, Diamond or Pearl, and then people could vote on it. Yeah, you're also thinking Pearl to be different, but Diamond is just cooler. Chopper's getting Pearl, so, you know, as long as, you know, the community has one of each, then it's probably fine. And some of the Diamond Pearl exclusive might be able to be gotten from Sword and Shield, because they are going to have an update to Pokemon Home that allows you to transfer Pokemon. into home. So there's that going for it. And I actually have a Turtwig waiting in Pokemon Home for me to transfer over, because I wasn't sure how they were going to do the Pokemon starters. And this was years before they came out with the remakes announcement. So I traded a Zacian for a Turtwig using Pokemon Home's GTS, which is fine because it's so easy to get a Zacian. All you gotta do is just beat the game on another save file and then transfer out the Zacian. It takes like 10 hours. It's like no work whatsoever. I can even great thing about streaming especially is that I can do like Pokemon challenges. So like if I need to play through a game multiple times, it's very convenient. I can just say like, oh, we're going to go through the game using just Turtwig, or we're going through the game, but we're only going to use normal type Pokemon. And like that's content, but you're also making, going through the game again so that you can get an extra copy of all the legendary Pokemon to transfer into Pokemon Home. There's a chance I might get 2 copies of the game so that I can play one physical. Like I might get like physical and digital, because if I get a digital copy, then I can play it on the Switch that's broken, the one that overheats when I play it for too long, and use the physical copy on the good Switch, and then I can trade with myself. Then I'll be able to get items as well, because when you use Pokemon Home, you lose the items that you were going to trade. I could do a Nuzlocke. I was actually thinking I would be more willing to do a single Pokemon run. Because like, in a single Pokemon run you can lose as many times as you want, and you just have to like struggle with like leveling up and training in IVs and EVs. And it just seems a lot more interesting. Because like there's actually a chance that with a Nuzlocke you could lose and the run could end. But like with a single Pokemon run, it's possible for you to get to a point where you actually just can't go forward at all. And that seems like, a lot more interesting to me. Nuzlocks are there kind of for the random crits and like the hype survival and things like that. But I think that the single Pokemon runs are like more for strategy and figuring out how to get past things, especially if you don't overlevel. Welcome back, Pink Kong. Even though we had this whole stream, you still don't know where I'm coming from. Oh well. Nuzlocks are difficult if you don't do your research. Like if you don't know what Pokemon trainer has coming up, and you don't know what moves they have, and you don't know their damage roll ranges, or you don't know the crit chances, or how much damage you'll take from a crit and things like that, then it's very difficult and it seems very random, and like you can just die randomly for no reason. But most Nuzlockers, like the people that do this, for the content on their channel, they usually know like everything about the game going into it, and so it's just a matter of like risk mitigation and team building, and like, well, I guess you can't really team build because it's like random Nuzlocke or whatever, but you know, team building and training and making sure that you aren't under-leveled for the next gym leader and things like that. Oh, that's what you mean. Why you started calling me Stormo instead of Stormy. Well, I'm pretty sure that it started because you started, like, saying Storm A, Storm, you know, E, Storm I, Storm O, and sometimes Storm, or Stormu, and sometimes Storm E. At least that's the first time I remember you bringing it up. You just, like, started adding vowels. And it was like a month ago or so at this point. The thumbnail doesn't update. Or the thumbnail updated. I was expecting the thumbnail that's currently on here to actually like say something as opposed to stream is starting soon. Remember my first YouTube name? No. I thought that it's always been Chomper Be Chompin'. Or maybe just Chomper, or... Yeah, I have no idea. I suppose now that I know the first video of mine that you watched, we could find out. Oh, just A by itself? I'm glad that you changed it. It is very weird to just say A. Do you remember my first YouTube name, Stormy? Wasn't it I Like Pie? I actually have been contemplating making a playlist of the first video that each of my regulars over the years have shown up for. It's kind of difficult to do that. I mean, I guess I could like ask each like regular to go through their YouTube history and pull out the first video that they watched of mine. Because I think that'd be a nice tribute. It would just be just a random assortment of videos, though. Gonna have to ping some old viewers of mine. Could be fun. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be fun. It would just be like I would just message a couple of people and then wait for the response. So it'd be very straightforward and to the point. Some of them are pretty difficult to find. Like, you know, I've been doing this for 4 years now. You know, if you want to count before I was streaming, like just doing the uploads, 6 years now. So it's just like, some people have been watching since pretty much the very beginning. Oh, I love that competitive Pokemon. Kind of remember the origin how I got into Stormy's channel? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you kind of remember it, but like, could you find the video? Like the first time? And like, YouTube kind of got rid of the live chat replay for a lot of the really, really old videos. So I can't even like just go back and find them. Like I couldn't even find where Pika the Musician joined the channel. It was a pretty long time ago. I'm sure it'll be really hard. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard because you can search your own YouTube history. The only issue is that YouTube doesn't let you search by who uploaded the video. You guys get to see my recommended videos, recommended reveal. You guys can see the types of videos that I watch. Some programming, some streamers, some math. Chucky Conroy's long play, more Smash, game design, development, all this sort of stuff. More programming. I actually watched this one. This is just a, what's it called? I have never seen anything like this before. Just a viral video that just got recommended. Anyway, but you can see your own history on YouTube. You just have to like, depends on how much YouTube you watch. I watch a lot of YouTube. Like a lot of YouTube. So it would be very difficult to find it. Like if you could watch it by, if you could sort by, what's it called? Like sort backwards, then that'd be nice. But like, let's see if I could find the first like Bad Kitty video that I watched. You know, this is a channel name, but if I click enter, it's just going to say nothing, or it's going to pull up the title of my videos. Like it needs to actually have Bad Kitty in the name or something like that. Oh, unless they changed it. Did they update it? No, they actually, Bad Kitty has just been putting their stuff in the... Nope. Yeah, so none of his early videos that I watched are on here. Because they actually literally had to be in the name of the video for me to actually see it. Now, you could do live chat. You actually have the history of your live chat. What is this going to show me? Okay. So, you could probably, if you chatted, then you could probably find it in there. But you had to like search really far for it. I've been scrolling since you first said history, and I'm only in August. Yeah. I also watch a lot of YouTube, so... it's pretty rough. If you know around the month and year, I do put the day of every stream in the title of every stream. Well, not in every stream. Of every Smash stream, I put the title, or the date in the title, so it's possible. I know you have the vid. You're like, you basically just showed up, you know. And I'm talking about like really, really old viewers. And people that have been around since like Smash 4. Seeing me spam smash attacks is really weird. You're thinking to yourself, wow, that person's so bad. I would do this instead. Alright, I'm actually starting to get hungry. It's like 9 o'clock. I think I'm going to end for now. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed. Good chat, everyone. We will very occasionally have little podcast-like talks like this, where it's just no gameplay, just me. Pretty rare, though. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing some City of Heroes in the afternoon, and we're going to be playing some Super Mario 64 in the evening. For now, I need to eat dinner. But thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Take care and bye.